Hey gang, what do Barbra Streisand and Taylor Swift have in common? Come along, if you're part of my posse, I'm going to share. But my first question is, if you were invited to Taylor Swift's wedding and told to keep the wedding gown a secret, would you? That's my first question. I think I could. I'm a good secret keeper. Um, but as someone who did public relations, I was the PR director and national spokesperson for David's Bridal at a time when that company thrived. Let me tell you why Barbra Streisand and Taylor Swift, I see something that pulls them in common. When I was at David's Bridal, one of the first press releases that I wrote and had distributed was David's Bridal voted Barbra Streisand the outstanding bride of the year because nobody better exemplified there's no longer age-appropriate rules to wedding gowns. And let me tell you, boom, that press release went everywhere. I remember the big boss coming down to me and saying, Colleen, this is fantastic. It was on Howard Stern. It was in USA Today. That was a time when there were newspapers and people. It was BSM, before social media. So it was in most of the newspapers, most of the gossip columns that we had voted, the company voted David's Barbra the bride of the year. And as you all know, I'm a Barbaholic. So when the big boss came down to me and said, this is great. Where's the vote? Did we vote? And I said, well, I asked one or two people, they agreed with me. And he said, chutzpah, you got chutzpah. This is a great press release. And it really was it showed them right away that I was going to take what was my publicist, entertainment PR background and merge it with David's Bridal. Now this brings me to Taylor's wedding gown. Oh my gosh, companies are missing an opportunity to do what we did all the time after I started and kind of fed them this idea. Predict what she wore. I don't see a talk show that couldn't run a series of, let's say, 5 gowns that various wedding gown designers would predict what she wore. Now, we all know she wore a Christian Dior gown because that's the press that has gone out, and Christian Louboutin shoes, her and her now husband, so that's out. And I was wondering, I would jump all over this. I would have predicted, and I still predict, Cinderella, beautiful, almost cloud-like. I mean, she's whether you like Taylor Swift or not, and I'm sure I can lose a lot of people in the beginning who don't like Taylor Swift or who are going to alienate me because I'm talking about Taylor Swift. But I give the girl her props. She is a mega popular pop culture person. She speaks to millions and millions of people. So if she wears a certain style wedding gown, you can bet within the next year that's the wedding gown that's going to be somewhat duplicated and sold all over the place. In fact, the moment there is a picture of that gown, what I would do if I were still the PR director of David's Bridal or any place that does bridal gowns is I would get our best lookalikes, affordable lookalikes. You too can be Taylor Swift. And again, bringing this back to my Barbra, at the time when she married and to James Brolin and she wore Donna Karan's design, it really did show that you can wear whatever you want on that given day. That is your day. And in a way, it's a day that people get a little cray-cray about. I know that because I'd be in the David's Bridal stores and be meeting those brides. But I had to respect that was a day that they were going to celebrate beyond comprehension. But let's say how I tied this all back to celebrity PR. When Jennifer Aniston got married, we had pictures all over the place. There was only a shoulder up picture of Jennifer Aniston, and she was huge. Her and Brad Pitt at the time, again, this was BSM, so it was before tons of Instagram, before tons of Facebook, before tons of Snapchat and all the different social media outlets. I'm forgetting them as I'm talking to you, but we immediately got out on the wires our 5 closest dresses that would look, let's say, give you the feeling of Jennifer Aniston's slinky dress. So I think with Taylor's dress, companies should jump on the bandwagon and make their prediction and do a fashion show. Predict what gown she's going to be wearing. And are you impressed with the fact that it has not leaked out? So today is, I think, the 10th, June 10th, hot humid summer day on the East Coast, hence minimal accessories. I find it quite impressive that it's not all over the press yet, or released yet. And I wonder, what do you think she's going to do? Do you think it's going to be one of those things? Obviously, her and Kelsey are a charitable couple. I forget how many millions and millions they've donated to charity. But do you think they're going to take a payday and allow pictures, if, let's say, People magazine or whoever it is at this point, Vogue, prints that wedding gown? What do you think? I don't know. I don't know what I think. But I think she sure pulled off a quiet wedding. And I think, going back to Barbra, she did what felt right for her. I think was she in her late 40s or her 50s when she got married? They've been together almost 30 years. Let's see, she's 80, 30 from 80. Okay, so she was not a spring chicken. But you know what? She never did the bridal thing. And it just shows to go you, people, a lot of people live for that moment. Maybe a month before. And when I was buying something for my headpiece, I kept saying to my mom, Mom, these girls aren't getting married for like 2 years and they're getting veils. And my mother said, Colleen, most people are like that. Not everybody waits till 2 weeks before they're getting married to get their wedding stuff. But I very 40s style, pillbox hat, bow, long, because I did what I wanted. I think that's the day, if you want to wear a black dress, which was my own personal desire. If you want to wear a princess dress, which again, I'm thinking Taylor, it's going to be something that fits her bodice, and I think it's going to be a cloud she's floating down in. What do you think? What do you think? What do you predict her gown will look like? Do you even care? Do I care? I care. If you're part of my posse, you know I get a kick out of pop culture, Hollywood culture. So do I care? It's not going to change what I'm going to eat for dinner. It's not going to change what I'm going to wear tomorrow. But I have fun. It's junk food for the mind. I need junk food for my mind. Anyway, that's it. That's my... Oh, and I have one gossip question before I sign out. Do you think Blake Lively was not invited to the wedding? Do you think that has to do with the fact that she called Taylor in for a deposition? If you've been following the whole Justin Balboni, Blake Lively legal battle thing. The one piece I wanted to come down the aisle to, which was an outdoor wedding, and I only had a few little girls as flower girls or bridesmaids, nothing super top formal, was the Flight of the Valkyries. But my mother said, no. I said Flight of the Valkyries, not that so my mom, who is this tall, is the boss of me, but honestly, she's the boss of me. She is, but I really wanted to go down to Flight of the Valkyries. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love, peeps, and chicken grease, and can't wait to hear your responses to the wedding gown thing.